Good morning. I am Elise Smith, your Christian business strategist, and you are tuned in to the Divinely Driven Results live show. We are super excited to have a really awesome announcement and an incredible guest with us here today. Well, not even a guest. She's a part of our company. That's our announcement. So basically, here at Divinely Driven Results, our whole goal has been to become a coaching brokerage where we can bring in other experts into our business that empowers Christian women entrepreneurs to reach their sales goals by utilizing biblical business strategy, empowering their mindset, and partnering with God. And so I have been looking for just the right type of people to come join us. And we had Robin for just a short little while, but she got pulled into her own TV show, guys. Like, that is so amazing. And so we couldn't keep her back from doing that. And so I've been praying and thinking about who is going to be the best person to bring on as our mindset coach, because I am very much on the strategy side of things. And so I wanted to, I've gotten to know Kat Mackison over the years, and I have to tell you, she is incredible, guys, incredible. The things that she teaches are just life-changing, and the way that she connects with other people is just absolutely amazing. And so that is why during this live show today, we are having the amazing Kat Mackison teach us all about how to get more time back in our day, right? We're always searching for more time. We're always searching on time management techniques and skills, as she's going to talk to us about how that may not be exactly true. But we really all struggle with the thing that's called time, right? And so that is why I wanted to have her come join us. So Kathy Lynn Mackison, aka Coach Crazy Cat, is the tour guide from Stuck, and she helps Christian women find and live their God-given mission by finding life balance, which we are all looking for. So Kat, welcome. Thank you so much for being on the show today and being part of the company. We are thrilled to have you and that you get to work with our amazing clients as well. So when you sign up for a program with us, you not only get me as your Christian business strategist, but you also get the amazing Kat Mackison. So Kat, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm so excited to be on, and I just love anything that helps to get more of God's word and his love out there into the business. And it's just been such a pleasure working with you. My background is I had 22 years in corporate. I've been a rule follower for as long as I can remember. Oldest of 4 kids, did everything I was told, made good grades, went to college, got the job, made the money, and none of it worked. I felt like I had painted myself into these guardrails and I was following them, but I didn't know where I was headed. And I had to wake up and get back to God in order to get out of the guardrails and to feel confident moving on the path that he wanted me on instead of the world's path, which is kind of like a roller coaster where you ride the same thing over and over again. Stress, frustration, up, down, sideways. Up. So I'm so grateful to him. I'm grateful to him that he brought me to this organization where I've learned how to actually run my business instead of just talk about my business and poke at my business. It's just been such an honor. And the T method is something that he brought me, and it stands for Time Efficiency Accelerator. And it's just been it's just so awesome because I used to go around and I would say to myself things like, I have no time. And I don't know if you've ever said things like this to yourself, but there isn't enough time in the day, or my to-do list is never completed. Maybe you're trying to be Superwoman and you're just tired of it. You feel like you have to put on this face to the outside world where you're perfect, but inside you're stressed out, or you're that duck on the top of the water and the feet are going like this, but on top you're like, I got it. You're stressed and busy all the time. The sticky notes are everywhere, or you feel like a hamster in a wheel. So who can relate? Have you ever felt like this, Elise?
Oh, yeah. Big time. And the thing is that we all feel like this all the time, right? Even if we're like admitting it or not admitting it. I think there are some days where it's easier and better than others, and other days, you guys know how it goes. Let's see it in the comments here. Which one of these can you guys relate to for sure?
I can relate to all of them. I've had so many of these. And I'm just so grateful. One of the first things, or recent, actually, this is a recent thing that God showed me. When you're reading in Genesis, right at the beginning, and the first day is the 24 hours. And that's when it really hit me. I was like, God established 24 hours from the beginning of time. And so it was enough for Jesus and Noah and Abraham and Peter and Paul, the guys who wrote the Bible. David had enough time to do all the things he did. And so we have enough time too. And so what is it from the outside that's causing this foggy mirror of our view of time? So
yeah, we've got somebody who said they can relate to the hamster. Absolutely. Do you ever have those days where it's like, no matter what you do, you can't get anything done, right? You're just spinning in that hamster wheel and you're like, I worked all day long and did nothing.
I've been there. So then I want you to think about what is suffering as a result. So when we're in that hamster wheel or our to-do listing and we feel like we run from thing to thing to thing, things that will happen is we feel like we don't have time for ourselves. Or maybe we don't have time for our family. We just rush past our family, or we throw out the dinner and go and stare at the television. You haven't spent time with God. You don't have your daddy-daughter time in the morning. And that will change your life so quickly if you have time with him. Are you not exercising or eating like you should? You haven't read a book for pleasure. So you work all the time and you're building your brain that way, but you haven't learned anything new. And that could be financial skills or spiritual skills, emotional skills. When's the last time you read a book or went to a coaching program to build yourself? And then I used to ask myself, because I've always been really, really hard on myself and a people pleaser, is everyone is getting everything done, and why can't I? So have you ever, how do you feel about these, Elise? What's been your story?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. In fact, I was just telling my husband last night, because we go through these ups and downs, right? I was telling him, I was like, I am staying up way too late because I feel like I finally get my me time in the evening. And it doesn't have to be just in the evening, right? Because I have this scarcity mindset around time that I push it all the way until like 10 o'clock at night. And then I stay up till midnight. And then I try to expect myself to get up at 5:30 in the morning. And it doesn't really work that way. So absolutely, for sure, we can feel this for sure.
So I'm so excited to show you guys the T method, because it'll show you how in little 15-minute blocks, you can create that life balance throughout your day. And then it really does change your life, because if you make time for God 15 minutes in the morning, that becomes 90 hours in a year, and you can get a lot done in that. And with God, he gives you back double, triple, way more than what you put in. So 15 minutes with him becomes hours with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So we just talked about this a second ago, but in the beginning, there were always 24 hours. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light was good. And he separated the light from the darkness. And he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning, the very first day. So Genesis 1:3-5, God established the 24-hour period. And he knew back then it was going to be enough for us. And it is.
I love that.
So this is the guiding principle for the T method. And this I got from the beautiful coach, Elise. She's helped me so much with making God really the center of my business. And I didn't know how to do that before. I would spend time with God over here, and then I would run my business over here. But really, God is, if you want him to be the CEO of your business, it changes the way you think about everything related to your life and your business in such incredible ways. So one of the things that she always does that I love is a biblical principle for every program. And so for the T program, it's this one from Ephesians, which is, look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of time, because the days are evil. So if you break this one down, God's telling us that if you just allow your time to just go away, those 24 hours to be spent willy-nilly, drinking something you shouldn't, eating something you shouldn't, staring at television, scrolling the internet, they're going to become evil because you're sucking it up on the world's things. But if you really look carefully at your time, 15-minute chunks here and there, create that life balance, you start to engage from your spirit, leading from home, lead your life, and it changes your life in such incredible ways that it's really hard to even. So I love this verse, and I just wanted to say thank you for the impact that you've had on me and my business.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about the method. So if everybody pulls out a piece of paper, what makes this really cool is we start by focusing on one area. I want you to, if you think about things that haven't worked before, if you've had stacks of planners or you've had that massive to-do list, where we fall down is we try to do too many things at once. And God is about simplicity, and he's about order, and he's about doing things methodically. And so if you think about, he gave us, right, a body, a mind, a heart, which is your emotions, your relationships with your family, and your spirit, which is the most important part. And if you're not feeding your spirit, you're going through your life like you have a dead battery, seeking for things, and you can't figure out what's going on. And that's because your spirit is, the Holy Spirit's in there knocking. Hey, I'm in here. Give me some time. I'll help you out. So I want you to rank each of these areas, body, mind, heart, and spirit, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being I'm really good in that area, and 1 being I have a lot of work to do. So on your body, are you taking time daily to work out? Are you eating like you should? Do you feel great in your clothes and in your skin? Do you have the energy that you want? So on a scale of 1 to 5, I want you to rank yourself on how you feel with your body. And then with your mind, how are you doing with feeding your mind with new ideas? When's the last time you signed up for a coaching program or did something to help you to see and think about things in new ways? When's the last time you listened to an Audible book? Rate yourself in your mind 1 to 5. And then on your heart, quality time with loved ones, open communication. So are you taking time to have meals with your family every day where you ask each other questions and you look at each other eyeball to eyeball and listen to concerns? Or is it more you're running through the house, running from obligation to obligation and staring at the television? Are you feeling loved and supported and appreciated? And are you loving and supported and appreciating your people too? So rate yourself on your heart on a scale of 1 to 5. And then in your spirit, are you taking quiet time with God every day? Do you have what Elise has taught us, which is the daddy-daughter time, where you put God first? And even if you only have 15 minutes in the morning to let him to bring you a scripture, to spend that time in quiet with him, to just be, to be his daughter and to realize how much he loves you and that you don't have to be doing all this stuff to earn his love. This one single thing, spending time in my spirit, has changed my life in so many ways. So rate yourself 1 to 5 on your spirit. And then I want to see how you guys are doing. So how are you, Elise? Your score?
You know, this is really interesting because Kat taught this in our group not too long ago. And I was having a chat with my hubby because I have a chat with him about everything. So our heart is pretty good, right? But you know, what I found is that our time management, our life, our balance that we're seeking for is really our own. And mine is going to look completely different than somebody else's. We don't have kids. We have a cute little pup son, right? And then it's just my hubby and I, and we literally work together like all day, every day. And so, I had to kind of check in with my hubby, and I said, do you feel like you are getting enough quality time with me? Like, we have quantity, but do you feel like we're getting enough quality time? And he's like, absolutely. Just, we call it pets and lovins at the end of the night. This is so weird, I know, but it's just like me massaging his arms and things like that, because he has chronic pain. And so he's like, if you just give me pets and lovins every single night, then I'm good to go. Like, we read the scriptures and I give him pets and lovins every night. And of course, we have date nights and things like that. But when I tried to compare it to other people's lives, I realized very quickly that mine looks totally out of balance. Like, I work all the time. And so I had to kind of check in with myself and say, okay, how am I doing in that heart range? Especially with the people that I love. I consider myself a fairly good daughter, a fairly good sister, all those different kinds of roles. I feel like I'm doing good enough in those different areas. So it's okay for me to not have it look like everybody else's, because they have kids and they have, more responsibilities or different types of things on their plate. And so for me, mine is body. Like, I want to work on that one, just because I don't have the energy that I want to. But that was kind of my big aha moment when you taught this the other day. And I love the fact that we are bringing on a mindset coach to help you think of these things. We all want that balance. And so even though we're working hard on our entrepreneurship and our businesses, this stuff is so important, because she just said it. You're like a dead battery if you're not focused on your spirit and all of these different types of things. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. That was probably way more than you asked for, but body is on my list.
I'm so glad you said that, because when we don't have kids, because I tend to be more like you. It feels good to take care of people in our business, and I can put everything into that. And if I don't check myself, because I feel like I'm praying without ceasing all day, I won't make my daddy-daughter time. And if I don't, I can feel after 3 days, my attitude will start to slip. And so that balance, it's keeping that balance and looking at what you need in your life, and just checking in with your loved ones, and really, ask the Father, are you giving him what he needs? Are you, check in with him? And one cool thing I heard the other day was even to make your to-do list. So if you're not sure which one he wants you to work on, lay these out and just pray with them and sit in quiet and just say, Father, I'm your daughter, and you promise that you're going to guide me in my steps. Like he says in Proverbs 16:9, he will give us our steps if we listen to him. So just do that, and he'll help you. I love that you went and talked to your husband.
I talked about everything. But we did have a Facebook user here. Sorry that we can't see who you are, but she said that she's body 2, mind 3, heart 3, and spirit 2. So thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable about that. Like, we want to see that in the chat, because that's going to help you to maybe not feel so bad, right? Like, if you're a 2 on spirit, then you see other people who are a 2 on spirit. It's all about acknowledging where you're at, because you can't go from here if you don't know where you're at right now. So thank you so much for sharing that. And please, guys, feel free to add that into the comments for sure. So awesome.
I'm glad you shared that, because when I learned about this and started it, I was a 1 on my spirit, and probably a 3 on my body, a 3 on my mind, and like a 2 on my heart. So don't feel bad. If I can improve, you can too. And so I want you to start to think about, because I'm going to help you write a goal. So between the spirit and the body, because it's so important with this that you pick one area and start there. When you build, and I'm going to show you what a freedom habitude is in a minute. When you build your first freedom habitude, you'll understand the power of it. And it's with just 15 minutes, then you'll be able to replicate it to other areas. But if you try to do everything at once, you won't do it. So just start to think between your body and your spirit, which one do you want to focus on first? Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about, where are those 15 minutes? And you're going to be surprised, because maybe you're feeling like, I'm already so busy, I don't even have 15 minutes. Well, let's find it. So I want you to think about, the first column is, what area are you going to build? I want you to pick one area. Are you going to work on your heart with your friends and your family? Are you going to build your brain with your mind? Are you going to work on your body with sports and exercise? Or are you going to spend time on your spirit? So for yourself on your piece of paper, just circle the one you want to work on. And I'm with Lilise. I'm working on my body. And I do well, and then I don't. And then I do well, and then I don't. And one of the things you'll learn too is you start to change your habits in one area. You'll focus on your low score. That's going to move up, and then something else will be your low score. So you're constantly, as Elise was just saying, recalibrating because life is a journey. You're never going to just arrive there. So just rethinking about what do I need to work on. So where is your 15 minutes? So one good area is while you're getting ready in the morning. And this is one thing I do. As soon as my feet hit the floor, I have a Bible study that I listen to that's already on my phone. And I literally turn it on when my feet hit the floor. So for that next 30 minutes while I'm prepping my breakfast and feeding my cats and doing my morning things, I'm already working on my spirit before I even come to the barn for daddy-daughter time. For work, a body, because I do love the Lord. I don't sit with him as much as I need to. I need more energy and workout time, fresh air. I love that. That's great. And getting out. So I do with the walk, if you get out and you do a walk, you can talk to God while you do that. So that's one area. So you can't, multitasking doesn't work in everything. If you're working on work or you're trying to learn a new concept, you cannot multitask. You've got to time it and do it. But with things like getting ready or doing a walk, you can listen to something else. So you can pray and get that extra prayer time with him at the same time.
Yeah.
That's something I do. I'll take breaks. I don't know if you've ever tried that, Elise, but I can get so into work and I love it so much. I make myself time for an hour and a half. So then I'm like at my peak work energy, and then I'll pause and I'll go out and I'm like, I'm going to go do a Bible garden walk with God. And it clarifies my mind and it changes my perspective.
So powerful. Yeah. And with multitasking, one thing I've heard with that is that you can multitask if there's a physical and a mental at the same time, right? It's kind of like, just like she said, garden walks with God. Did you guys hear that? Wasn't that beautiful? Can't you just imagine Kat walking around and her property's beautiful, by the way, just walking around, like having chats with God in her garden. We need that time, guys. And so that way, you have that physical and you have that mental capacity at the same time. That's okay. But when, just like she said with work, if you're trying to talk to this person over here and do this stuff at the same time, we start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. And what happens if we do that to our phone or our car is that it runs out really easily, right? It wears out. And so, yeah, that's the tip that I would say with multitasking is just like she said, go do something and listen to spiritual or, the brain building or whatever it is that you want to do at the same time. Love it.
Awesome. Work and work related. So if you still are going into the office or even if you're working from home, they always give you breaks. So on that 15-minute break, that is an excellent time to go for a walk. And when I had a very stressful job at corporate. I used to do this big accounting job, and we would be right in the middle of writing the report for the SEC. And I would think I don't have time to take a break. But then when I made myself take a break over lunch and go work out, I was so much more clear in the afternoon that I started to realize I didn't have time to not take a break, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure who you are, but thank you for responding to that and being so honest. But yeah, try that out and see if you can make yourself take a break at a certain time during the day. And if you walk 15 minutes a day, that's almost 300 miles in a year. It's crazy how fast it adds up, because you'll walk about at a moderate pace, you'll walk about 2/3 of a mile. And so it's incredible. It's just so neat. And it just shows how God is a God of order. So he's telling us, if you just give me 15 minutes, I'm going to create something big. It's just like the planting the seeds. Everything's back to small. Where the enemies lie, this hustle culture is all about big. You have to go from not working out to running a marathon. You can't do that. A 15-minute walk will change your life. So leisure, television, and media. The average American spends over 5 hours watching television. Hi, Allie. I'm so glad you're on. Thank you. I'm glad it's helping you. Leisure, television, and media. So I don't know how much time you stare at the television or scroll the internet, because that is a huge, huge time suck. The average American spends 5 hours. Over a lifetime, they will spend as much time watching television and social media as they do in their job. It's incredible. I went and looked at the stats for the average American. The lowest four, we spend 90% of our life on sleep, which you've got to have your sleep. And that you can argue is building all four areas. So sleep, I don't have a problem with. That's 40% of your life. But then you spend another 50% of your life working and staring at television. And 10% of your life is on your mind, body, spirit, and heart. And then we wonder why all of America and the world is so stressed out. It's really sad. That's not God's plan, you know?
Yeah. We used to call the TV our income reducing machine because we can totally get sucked into it. And I mean, honestly, that is my addiction. I will just be totally straight up honest. Netflix and chill is my thing. And so, because I will work my tail off. And then at the end of the night, I'm just like, I just need another episode. I just need another episode. This is like practically like prying me off the couch, trying to get me into bed.
I've been there. I don't watch it every day, but my sister and I have these certain crime things that we like to watch, and we'll get sucked in, and we'll just sit there for hours. And it's because I worked myself too much, and I didn't take my breaks. I didn't take my daddy-daughter time. I didn't take my walking break, and then I allow myself to feel like that's my candy. That it's, you know what I mean?
Like my glass of wine or something. Like I don't drink, but that's totally my end of the day chill thing.
The last one is household activities. We all need to clean the house. We all need to cook dinner, but you can put on the Bible or an Audible book and crank through. If you were to listen to an Audible 15 minutes a day, you would hear 12 to 16 new books in a year. And if you took one principle out of every book, it would change your life. It's pretty awesome. That's cool. So where did you take your time from, Elise?
So I took it from my TV time because I love personal development, but I mean, obviously I'm working on my body as well, but the personal development side, I love to dive into personal development, but I feel like I never have the time to. And so what I did is I put some limits on myself after we talked. And I said, I'm only watching one episode of something every single night. So I get one episode just to chill for a little bit. And then after that, I go to my personal development time. And I actually find that it's easier to go to sleep because I have my brain on different things compared to just like zoning out in the TV where I just stay up way too late.
I love that. I'm actually making myself take a work break.
Awesome.
So I'll come down and I do my daddy-daughter time, which I time, and then I work, and then I time, and then I go for a 15 to 30 minute walk with God in the garden. It's just been so awesome.
Love that.
Awesome. All right. So now that you know where your 15 minutes is, I want everybody to write out, this is called a freedom habitude. And what makes it a freedom habitude is that instead of feeling like you're beating yourself up, you're actually creating life balance, which is freedom, by making it a habitude. So we make it positive. Instead of thinking about it as something that you have to do, it's something that you want to do because you realize that you're improving your life. So you choose to repurpose 15 minutes a day from, and I want you to identify what that is, and I want you to write it out. Because if you don't write it and get specific, you're highly unlikely to do it. Like we've probably all been to those trainings where we think, oh, that's a really good idea. I'll do that tomorrow. Well, tomorrow might as well be never. So write it out if you want to do it. And then what are you going to build? Are you going to build your spirit, your mind, your heart, or your body? So mine is I choose to repurpose 15 minutes a day from work, and I'm using it to build my body. And Elise, you're choosing to repurpose 15 minutes a day from your television time to build your, I guess, personal development. So that's your mind, right?
Yeah. And the body one too. I'm doing that too. I'm like, I'm going to steal that one. Sorry, one at a time. You got to get me focused.
So for Allie, where are your 15 minutes coming from, my dear? You said you're gonna work on your body, and if you want to share with us, we'd love to hear where your 15 minutes are going to come from.
And while we're waiting for her to do that, don't you guys love that concept of a freedom habitude? Like creating a habit that has this awesome attitude with it, and then it gives us freedom. Like that's genius. Love it, Kat.
I don't see her. Well, Allie, if you want to let us know, or it's totally cool, but write it out. I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. Okay, dear. All right, so we kind of talked about this, but I want you to show I want to show you how it accelerates. So this first bar is the 15 minutes, and it's like a tiny little blip, but it becomes 90 hours in a year. 90. Wow, right? When I first did this math, I had to check it like 4 times, and I'm an accountant. But in 90 hours, you can read the entire Bible all the way through. You can read 12 to 18 books. You can walk 270 miles, and it's a whole 6 extra days dedicated to your family. Guys, this is life-changing stuff. And 15 minutes, anybody can do. Oh, there she is. She's going to repurpose 15 minutes a day from corporate work and build your body. Yay!
Love it.
I can't wait to hear how it goes, Allie. Good for you. That's awesome.
And if anyone else wants to put it in the chat, we want to see, what are your freedom habitudes?
Yeah, please do. Cool. I love sharing freedom habitudes because it helps to give people ideas. So I want you to escape the beat up loop. So the things that don't work with time management strategies, and they're like, we need more time, is that we are all, a lot of times, and especially me, focused on what I didn't get done and comparing to other people. And we've got those inner dream stealers that are constantly making us feel like we're not good enough. Just realize that's the enemy. And when you're a daughter of God, he's trying to put a barrel over your light. So if he can mess with your mind and cause you to like think about inner dream stealing and perfectionism and comparison, he can keep you feeling beat up and unworthy and not out there doing what God wants you to do. So I want you to know that God empowers you to feel in control of your time. He's the one who established the 24 hours. He's the one who established order in the Bible and balance in the Bible. And the rest of it is just, quite frankly, it's a lie. One of the verses that's come to me recently is from Galatians 5:1, and it's, for freedom you are set free, so don't return to a yoke of slavery. And a yoke of slavery in this day and age is all of the stuff, the hustle culture, the business of busyness, all those things that we feel like we have to do, but do we really? So take it back to Father God and just ask him if he's in what it is that you're spending your time on.
Beautiful. You know, the whole time we've been talking, I have had the scripture in my head, seek and ye shall find. Yes. Right? Like this 15-minute concept. Absolutely. When I say, you know, find 15 minutes, you're probably like, I don't have 15 minutes, right? But if we seek, we really will find, because we're opening ourselves up to finding that, right? We have, you know, you guys already know, when you give yourself a specific question, you can find that specific answer that you're looking for because of your RAS, your reticular activating system, and all of that fun stuff. But the thing is that we know that that's a promise from the Bible to us, that if we seek, we shall find, and especially if we seek with heavenly help. And so I would encourage you to take all these amazing things that Kat is telling us here today and teaching us, to really take it upon yourself. Where can you find that 15 minutes? Take it to the Lord in your daily daddy-daughter time and ask him, what's the thing that I should be focused on? Not one thing, right? I'm going to focus on one thing. Just like we were talking about, I'm going to do it myself. And then the other thing is where am I going to find that time from that, right? And asking that very specific question to the Lord. When we seek, we really shall find. So don't say that I don't have time, right? That is the most disempowering thing you can possibly say to yourself, is I don't, or I'm not, or whatever that may be, right? Is that immediately shuts you down to say, I don't have time to do that. That is going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy that all of a sudden you're not going to have time because you told yourself you don't have time. You say, I have enough time. I have plenty of time. I can do this, right? I can do this with the Lord's help. And I know you can. As you seek, you really will find that 15 minutes a day that will create the freedom habitude that Kat talks about, because I've seen this in her life, and guys, it is amazing. Awesome.
It's awesome. I think I just have one more slide, and then I think, yeah, so we just talked about that verse, for freedom Christ has set us free, so firm. And just be specific. So, Allie, you said you're going to repurpose 15 minutes a day from corporate and build your body. So just know what you're going to do. For a walk around the block? Are you going to climb stairs in the office? Or what is it? And just have everything there. One of the things that sets us up for I'm taking 15 minutes from the dream stealer to build my body.
Love it.
Honesty. Yeah. So just rethinking, and what I've been working through some things with my business where I had major dream stealers and they were shutting me down all the time. But I started to really look at it and just to kind of look at it with curiosity. So when you're wanting to take that first step and then you're probably either, we distract, we think of other things to do, we put it off until tomorrow. These are all the ways that the dream stealer can cause us to think about a shiny object. I just need to finish this one more thing. So just really stop with curiosity and look at that and go, you know what, Father, I'm your daughter and I feel like you want me to do this so that I'm healthy to be able to do your work and I have more energy. Can you show me how to work through this block that I have so I can get back to it? So that's it. And then just mark it down and whether for 30 days. So a habit becomes a habit over 30 days. And 15 minutes a day in 30 days is almost 2 hours or no, almost 8 hours. It's like a lot of time. And even if you do it for half the time, that's still 4 hours that you didn't do last month. So always be focusing on the positive. Always be looking at what you did do. Always being grateful to God for what he gave you the energy to do and to like eliminate at all costs all negative talk, because knowing that's just the enemy trying to hold us back. That's all I had, Elise. I'm so grateful to have been on and to be able to share this beautiful tea time. A gift from God. So
absolutely. Oh, that was so powerful, guys. I hope you've been taking amazing notes because 15 minutes a day absolutely can change your life. And you will find that as you seek the Lord to be able to figure out how to create that in your life, in your business, in everything that you're doing. So the amazing Kat, thank you so much for being here today. I think you guys all got incredible value out of that. Let's see. We have one more comment. I'm getting out of the house for fresh air and eat fruit instead of that candy or sugary snack. I'm natural, so rain doesn't bother me. Love it, love it. That is so exciting. And we want to know, like, keep us informed on how your freedom habitude is going for sure. Friend both Crazy Cat Mac and I, as well, Elise Smith on Facebook or any of the social media platforms. That we want to know how your journey is going for sure. You can put it in the comments here. And we want to make sure you are invited to our Faithful Ladypreneurs Facebook group. We have the amazing community of 1,000 ladies. In fact, we're throwing a party on Friday. So it doesn't matter if you are in the group or not, make sure you come join us in Faithful Ladypreneurs. It's a free Facebook group, an amazing community of Christian women entrepreneurs where you get to learn amazing things like this to be able to grow your business in the Lord's way. And you even get to advertise your business on Saturdays. So come join us in Faithful Ladypreneurs. And if you're already in it, or if you're just joining us because you're like frantically searching for that right now, come join us on Friday. So tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we are going to be doing our 1K party because we hit 1,000 ladies in our Christian Women Entrepreneur group. And we want to say thank you and love on you guys. And we want you guys to meet a little bit more of the team. Usually you only see my face, but there's so much more of a team behind me that I could not do without, right? And so we want to make sure you guys can meet them. There's amazing prizes and there's some really awesome stuff that we're going to be talking about. So do not miss our 1K party. We will put the link in the chat below so that you guys can come join us. It's totally free. Everyone who comes gets a prize, but you only get it if you get it. You only get it if you come. There we go. I get so excited. I'm like tripping over my own words. Come to the party. Anyway, yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your excitement in the chat. So Faithful Ladypreneurs Facebook group, come join us. And on Friday, we will see you at the party. Thanks so much for being here, Kat. Your words were amazing wisdom that we all need to put into our lives every single day. So come join us in Faithful Ladypreneurs, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.